Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to part 17 of the EVA pod build. Today we're actually going to start working on doing some of the wiring. Light boxes are all built, so now we can actually start putting the lights in and wiring them and then getting the lids closed on the light boxes. So let's take a look. Okay, well I went ahead and glued two SMDs to the displays here, the button areas here, where we actually put a piece of cardboard to kind of, but I don't know, it might be a little too much. I might actually let it alone, but I want to look at it one more time. It seems to be lighting okay. I'll go with this one since it's right here. But I think I'm pretty happy with it. I think if I get some reflection, yeah, that's working fine. So I'm getting good light off of that. I kind of centered it off the three buttons in there. And the film gives it a little more of a going through white plastic look. And, but I was going to just put kind of like a tape over it. I was thinking. And then seal it with a silver tape to light block it, but I think having this white background, just cutting a piece of plastic the diameter of the top and just gluing it right over top, and then leaving it white on the inside, I just saw by putting it down there it reflects the light back and gives it a little more of a widespread look. Will it make it? Yeah. And the wires it already has will make it, and they're nice and thin. So that they'll definitely tuck and hide. We can do that with both of these. So that'll work. But get my circle drawing thing. It's a 15/16 will cover the top of that. So we'll go ahead and mark that and cut out two of these. Cut a square out of it. These don't have to be pretty. And this will keep that low profile just the same as the tape, because I believe I have enough room for that to sit in there. Alright, there we are. I guess we could technically glue these in because these are good. You could probably brush a little bit of this on there. See how messy it becomes. And messy, I mean in the brush. The brush will pull some of that paint I already put down. And the wire's so thin, and I'm not pushing down so hard, I even notch where the wires come out. They just go over the edge. I actually believe it helps even that regular cement set up quicker. Or at least it tacks so that this can set up. There we go. Alright, so that worked. And then we'll just seal the edges up with some tulip if we have some gapping. Still showing on the where the wire pops out. I thought about notching it, but I don't want to press too hard because that SMD is just down below the lip. because it recesses in. That's why I'm able to cap it with just these plastic stuff tops. Let's see if we can get a quick look. Make sure the light didn't twist the LED or something weird. I can see a little bleed through on the outside, but that also means I can tell it's pointing the right way. Oh, and that worked great. Yeah, and definitely capping the back of it and holding the light inside the box has made it glow the other buttons better, but not overpowering, so that's perfect. I guess we'll keep trucking with the button lights here. I should make a center line here, roughly, just a rough guesstimate. I can even go this direction. So I think we just butt these side to side. And then when I set that down, that should run the way I want it. We can use our center mark to put the center LED. That should center it in every direction. Turn it up a little more. Right on low. If I let that sit at idle for a little bit, I'll turn it down. I can tie that positive to the resistor. Resistors. Let me make sure what these lights are. 3 to 3.2. So if I'm at 3.2, I can use a 300, which ends up being a 330, I think. That's what I have. And here's a 330. Need all that. So I'm going to want to twist this jumper right on one end of this resistor. But I want it to the one side because I want the jumper not to get resisted. So I want it on the side that also from the resistor that's going to get soldered to the tab. I want that to be like that so that the jumper doesn't go through the resistor that's meant for the SMD. I don't need all that wire. I always do a little extra and I can trim it. There we go. Get a little. Will this be able to grip it? Perfect. This time, make sure we're going to the right spot. it's going smooth. Shouldn't say that, because then that's when stuff go wrong. This we might as well hold off. And tie the two blacks together and solder at one time. Then we'll figure out how we're getting these wires snuck out. I think we're just going to make a notch in that. That's the easiest way. Okay. Yeah, so we'll make a notch. Gonna be one hell of a notch too, unless we can get them all to go in one spot. It can go fairly big because we can always close it up with tool it. Actually, that side I probably didn't have to go so big because I think yeah, this is the only wire coming up that way. So we can solder you on. You're by yourself. There's a little. There we go. Get you clean. Stick on my finger. That piece of tape. Get the easiest one out of the way first. Solder like that. And then try to put a shrink tube over the whole thing. A piece of shrink tube. I think the yellow goes over the whole resistor. That way we don't run any chance of we bend that down like that, we won't worry about a short happening. Now we gotta tie this black, come here you, to that. See if we can do this. Even if it's a temporary hold, get those two together. So they can grab them both at the same time, which is going to be difficult because the black wire is smaller than the blue. Let's see if we can do this. It's holding there, but let's see if it'll melt. Oh, it did. Very good. Very, very good. And there we go. Now, we need to check all this before we close all this up. Hey! There we go. You can see them lighten up that area. That'll work perfectly. That's the best thing to do is do this. right away since it's styrene on styrene. Because I did scrape the edges. And we can run some of this stuff. Sorry about the AC. It's on there very good. Really, that's not a lot of light, but we'll blacken that out. And we can tape these down just to keep them. Put a piece right there or tack it with glue or something. Nope, I'm loving it. Like I said, I'm glad that's not a big spotlight. That's not what I wanted. I wanted it exactly like that. Well, we'll let this cure for a little bit before we keep messing with it. We let that cure and dry, and I did some some tulip around the edges here to seal up, especially underneath. And right there was a good gap, and where the wires, where I notched out for the wires, did really good. So then we just gotta paint those up and light block them. Everything's working good. Ran the wire down here, and then we'll attach it once we glue the ceiling down onto the rest of the ship. But what I did is I pre-colored these LED strips. Pre-colored those, and then I don't know if I can get this to light from this far away. Oh yeah, I can grab. It'll grab. That way you can see these are nice and red now. And there we go. So they're glowing a red. So we have a red LED. There we go. So we have a red LED going over those red lights. Let's finalize this ceiling here. And since this is the end of the line, I didn't have to tin that other side. Judge the wire if I can get these down. So we'll try like I did with the other one that worked good with this. I'll run this guy where I can actually get a bead of glue on the top of the rail here. What I should do is get some tape. So hopefully that's holding that down. Alright, well you're this side, so we can move on to the next. And the way this is going to go is we're going to just jumper you right across here. So we can keep a good line, and then we'll come in like that. And I can push some extra. Those work good for looping wires. Like little jumpers. This should give us, we can either hot glue or super glue into those areas like that. So we can strip these and add these. We'll strip these and then we'll actually make the wires coming out this way to go to that. do this. Keep it from moving. And there we go. We got that one working. And that one's looking really good in there. And that's where all this lined up. And that's where scraping the walls from the paint becomes a big benefit. Now I should see how it's lining up in the hold these. Let's see how it's lining up in here. Oh, that works fine. Looks great. Okay, might as well, I'm going to use this as an extender, and then we'll, because I'm going to need quite a bit to get down here, down towards the front. So we'll use this as a little extender. Straight up, do it this way. I guess so we can hot glue the wires down later. And this one we can set down. We'll kind of do a thing like this. This guy the way we want it. First, we're going to get a little glue down here and then get these pieces of tape ready. And like I said, I ran a gotta make this end look good. They just don't give you anything to grab onto. And that looks good. Looks great. So we'll just let them sit. Then we'll cut that 9-volt battery end off and we'll solder this on so we can plug it in. Get these tacked down. Get all that light blocked. We're looking in good shape, so there it is. That's pretty much it for the lighting for the ceiling. So, well, I figured I'd give a quick little update. We're getting ready, real close to putting this ceiling down. What I did is I added a few more tabs. I added another tab for the display lights, and I added another, and the red lights can plug in there, and I added another tab because I'm going to hook Hal's front light in the front of the ship up to the monitors, and then the headlights are just going to go on their own circuit. And I think I'm going to grab the power from the door here. So I'm going to unsolder these and then make a little connection and then have the door be able to plug in here so the door will get power when the red lights come on. Which would make sense since it's got a red caution light and that. I wasn't sure what I wanted to have that come on, but I think that can come on with the red lights. Because thinking about if they're coming in and powering the ship up, they would turn those lights on first, and then they come on and turn on the buttons and the displays, and so. That made a logical sense. The camera up top, I'm going to go with the headlight so it's not always on, because it's not going to be a Canon, but I think I'm going to put like a blue flashing light up there or something. Just something. Kind of look cool. I don't know if most of that's supposed to be painted silver on that camera lens, but and I'm still not sure on the earmuffs if I want to paint all that teardrop silver and then do the chrome outer smaller rings. I know it's not canon to do the whole teardrop silver. It's supposed to be a white, you know, just like the ship, and then just the rings. But we'll see. We'll see how it looks. I don't mind doing things a little bit different. It makes it look a little bit better. Sometimes you got to make things your own and have creative decisions. But I try to keep them as much canon as possible. That's actually why I'm looking forward to doing those UFOs ships from Polar Lights, because they don't really have a model to model off of. You kind of got to stay with the color scheme of what the decals are if you want to use them. But other than that, this is ready to go. Adding those extra ports have helped. Let's see here, and then here I'm just trying to do little things before I seal up that I saw when I did a dry fit. One main thing is there may be areas that these don't not want to sink down because everything's all, and just in case, I painted some of the tabs black. So I ran a little piece of tape there to give me a tape edge, a little fly, and painted it black. So at least we got this inner edge is red from painting it. I'm not sure if I should do this in a red. I might just hit it just in case. I don't think you see any of that. This little fly, this little gnat, keeps flying right in my face. So, because this part here rides right in there. But I think it disappears, and I think the door track goes right there, so we'll see. But I might go and hit that red. Hi, Jack. Everybody's coming up to see me. I might hit that just in case. Alright, you can't be up here right now. Thank you. But I want to also hit this edge where this is going to bow into that window. I want to hit that with a black, just in case, and build it out a little wider in case some stuff don't want to align correctly. So I can pull this tape off. That was just. It looks like I got a little bit of bleed through, and I think my brush was real wet. Yeah. So I did get a little bleed through, but it'll wipe off, and that's why I wouldn't do this now. It's not completely cured. Should be able to go in and if it makes a little bit of a black halo around the window, that's okay. Because I think I'm kind of might want to go with that. Make like a dirt ring around the window. Yeah. Like I said, it made a little bit of a dirt ring around the window, but that's perfect. It actually looks good. It gives it like almost like a little weathering kind of vibe. But I think the only other thing I want to do to this is just knock some instead of doing it with paint, I'll do it with my pastels and knock a little bit of silver. try to get those. The more satin stuff is, the better. This is kind of a matte, so. There, it just adds a little bit of a different worldly. I usually go in with a brush and soften it and get rid of any of the little powdery corners. But there we go. That just gave a little bit of something. Alrighty. But that's basically all I wanted to show. I'm going to get this roof glued down. Or the ceiling, I should say. Everything's taped down, blackened, working good. So, and my dry fit went pretty well. Like I said, it showed me that I have to just precautionary hit those tabs. Before I might even glue that on, I might add this door connection, so all that's ready, so we can get this and then I can let it sit and dry. So till next time, thanks for watching.